Bone regeneration technology. Bone regeneration refers to the use of biological techniques and engineering methods to repair and regenerate bone tissue, reduce surgical risks, and improve the quality of life of patients. Bone tissue is one of the most important tissues in the human body, which supports the body, protects the internal organs, and participates in various physiological functions such as metabolic regulation. However, bone defects and destruction caused by various reasons, such as trauma, illness, age, etc., have become problems faced by many people. Tell a case that everyone can understand: deer antlers. Deer antlers fall off regularly every year and then reappear from the top, growing even larger than the previous year. The annual regeneration of deer antlers is the only organ in mammals that can undergo periodic complete regeneration under natural conditions. For the first time, a group of stem cell populations with strong bone regeneration potential were discovered, identified, and isolated from deer antlers. This discovery has important translational research potential for bone regeneration and bone injury repair, bringing new insights to mammalian organ regeneration and organ injury repair. In order to understand the cellular and molecular mechanisms of antler regeneration, researchers collected samples from 8 consecutive stages of antler regeneration and established a single-cell resolution cell map of antler regeneration and development, including stromal cells, PMCs, fibroblasts, chondrocytes, osteoblasts, immune cells, endothelial cells, and perivascular cells. Among them, researchers have identified a group of stromal cells that play an important role in antler regeneration. Since stem cells in deer antlers have important translational research potential for bone regeneration and bone injury repair, can human stem cells also have the same function? Through the unremitting efforts of medical experts, stem cells have been successfully extracted from the umbilical cord and fat of the human body, and after cultivation, different stem cells that can repair human organs or systems have been formed. After being infused back into the human body, they act on the corresponding organs or systems for repair. Sun Yang picked up a rubber-like artificial bone material and told reporters that the biggest feature of the company's products is their plasticity. There are 2 traditional types of artificial bone materials. One is mainly made of hard blocks, but the biggest drawback is that when filling bone defects, they cannot be shaped arbitrarily, making it inconvenient to operate, and leading to some defects that cannot be easily filled. After filling, the full filling effect cannot be achieved, which affects the postoperative efficacy. The other is the mortar type of artificial bone, which has the disadvantage of being easily dispersed by blood and water, and even bringing it to our muscles go inside the skin, causing some ectopic ossification. He introduced it. The absorbable and regenerated bone material launched by Leeson Science is characterized by its plasticity, similar to clay, which can be shaped freely, making it convenient to quickly fill various bone defects, and the filling effect is full. Secondly, it has strong water resistance and can be shaped freely in water without scattering, allowing for stable shaping and filling. These 2 characteristics greatly improve the operability of doctors. In addition, the degradation and regeneration effect of bone-filling materials can determine the clinical postoperative efficacy. We used a conventional material combination of polylactic acid, PLA, and hydroxyapatite, HA, and through process innovation and optimization of the interaction forces between materials, it has excellent characteristics of bone induction and osteogenic activity. Bone regeneration can be completed in just 3 to 6 months. Bone defect repair materials are still a major demand in orthopedic clinical practice. In practical application, what benefits will absorbable regenerated bone bring to patients? Sun Yang introduced that patients no longer need to worry about the source of bone grafting materials, and using artificial bones can help patients achieve bone regeneration. On the operational level, it is also beneficial for patients. When doctors fill bone defects, the surgical efficiency increases, and the plasticity makes the wound smaller, which shortens the exposure time of the surgery and reduces the risk of infection. Under the trend of aging, the demand for bone defect repair treatment is increasing, and bone grafting is the main treatment method. Approximately 500,000 bone grafting surgeries are performed annually in the United States, and over 2.2 million bone grafting surgeries are performed globally each year. The huge surgical volume has led to insufficient availability of gold standard autologous bone, and the source of autologous bone is limited. Artificial bone is not limited in quantity and location, and its clinical application has rapidly increased in recent years. According to statistics from the Southern Institute, the market size of bone repair materials in China was approximately 3.93 billion yuan in 2018, and it is expected to increase to 9.69 billion yuan by 2023. At present, there are over 400 bone fillers approved by the FDA, and the market products seem to be saturated. However, in practical applications, further demands have been put forward in clinical practice. Firstly, clinical bone defects have diverse shapes, and bone fillers need to meet plasticity. The material shape can be repeatedly adjusted before implantation and during surgery to maximize the matching of the defect site. Secondly, the bone defect site may be accompanied by bleeding or require repair surgery in a liquid environment. Considering the stability of the product in the human body, it should be able to resist liquid erosion. There are two problems when bone filling materials are dispersed by liquid. Firstly, there is insufficient remaining filling material in the bone defect area, which affects bone regeneration. The second issue is that the washed-away material may reach non-bone tissues, such as skin and muscles, and doctors need to clean them. This not only prolongs the surgical time and increases the risk of infection for patients, but inadequate cleaning may also lead to ectopic bone formation. Furthermore, the degradation and regeneration efficiency of bone-filling materials in the human body will affect the final therapeutic effect. In the field of bone repair, there are two different mechanisms: bone conduction and bone induction. Bone conduction belongs to the south to north water diversion, where bones grow from one side to the other. Bone induction belongs to the concept of creating from nothing, which induces the body to produce bone tissue in a non-bone environment. This product has obtained one of the highest gold content certifications globally, which also means that Leeson Science has a strong entry into the empty space of global clinical demand. For a materials company, developing new materials is not a difficult problem. But Dr. Sun Yang, founder and CEO of Leeson Science, also mentioned, formally going through clinical trials and approval procedures is different from academic research. Healthcare is a serious industry, and the application of new materials is relatively cautious, requiring long-term safety observation. Innovative materials still have a long way to go before they can be implemented. Polylactic acid and hydroxyapatite are bone repair materials with rich clinical evidence and mature applications, and the focus of development is to endow these composite materials with the performance they need clinically. The magic weapon of scientific and mental health is the key to success. It is the innovation of raw material technology and process. Polylactic acid has strong hydrophobicity, but its osteogenic performance is not ideal, and its degradation products are acidic, which can easily cause aseptic inflammation in the body. Hydroxyapatite has good biocompatibility and bone conductivity. During the degradation process, it can release calcium ions to promote bone tissue regeneration, but its mechanical properties are poor and the bone induction efficiency is low. By optimizing the proportion and molecular weight of monomers, Leeson Science adjusts the softness of materials and generates composite materials with moderate softness and hardness, on the one hand, reducing the carboxyl content formed after material degradation and controlling environmental acidity. At the same time, through superdispersion technology, small hydroxyapatite particles are uniformly dispersed in polylactic acid materials, with a content of up to 50%. This not only efficiently neutralizes acidic substances, but also achieves slow release of calcium ions during hydroxyapatite degradation, making the calcium ion concentration in the surrounding tissue fluid relatively balanced, which is conducive to osteogenesis. The innovation of upstream materials and the customized development of downstream products cannot be separated from the positive feedback mechanism within Leeson Science. Based on the application situation and feedback in the downstream market, upstream material processing can make rapid responses. At Gaeabone trademark before the launch of absorbable regenerated bone, the company had undergone over 10 iterations internally.